Hey pups, RB here. And just like the last episode of Art Speaks, I had originally planned on doing something else. But then I figured, you know what, I'm gonna hold off on that one too. So for today's episode, it's going to be about Pastel Goth. Of course you can already tell by the theme of this video, just by looking at the flippin' video yourself, with my Lucario mascot from DeviantArt as a Pastel Goth. Of course, the number one question that comes to people's minds when they hear the words Pastel Goth is the very same question everyone asks. What is Pastel Goth? Well, there are many definitions, but of course, we're going to the Urban Dictionary to actually look at the definition. Pastel Goth is a new trend where usually girls will dye their hair pastel colors, wear hipster or vintage-looking clothing that vaguely promotes goth images, and blend cutesy images and colors with skulls, introverted crosses, etc. They try to justify their gothic with a pastel palette, although it is more reminiscent of a lighter emo scene look. They're often looked down upon by many other goths as posers. They're also disliked by Nirvana? I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. They're also disliked by Nirvana fans because of those loose to the term grunge to describe themselves. Of course, the word pastel goth can include soft grunge or goth. And most pastel goths don't listen to gothic music or enjoy its true elements. And of course, most of these are seen on Tumblr, believe it or not. And sometimes pastel goth is referred to creepy cute. Because come on, it's adorable. And creepy. That's my kind of style, believe it or not. And some recurring themes in the pastel goth community are introverted crosses, skulls and bones, kawaii offensive text or pixels, mean girl quotes, shaking food gifts, garnets, dripping things, bats, the yin yang symbol, pastels, and some common elements for the fashion style are pastel hair, leg garnets, fishnets, platform sneakers, button-up shirts and blouses, spiked headbands, creepers, pastel pullovers, spiked chokers, black lipstick or pastel lipstick, and the ever-classic eyeball, black, or pastel bows. And most pastel goths are actually bloggers. Me being one of them, believe it or not. Mostly an art blogger, of course. And there's a crap ton of tutorials online. Don't believe me? Look them up. An example of a pastel goth would have to be Melanie Martinez with a pastel goth fashion. And of course, her music videos for her album, Crybaby. I freaking love Melanie Martinez so much. Sorry, got off topic. And I think you all are wondering, what does it mean to be a pastel goth for me? What do I see in me that is pastel goth? Well, a lot of things such as creepy culture, creepiness like skulls and crossbones and all that fun stuff. But I do like other things, like super cute things like My Little Pony, Hello Kitty, Disney, all that good stuff. I usually combine scary with the cute, and shaboom! That's how I become a pastel goth. Or a pastel goth nerd wannabe person. Yeah. And of course, pastel goths are often looked down upon in the gothic community, where some people would say they're just posers, they're not really goth. And it is true. Some people just like the style, or just want to join it for the trendiness of it. And once it dies down, they'll go on to the new trend. And that better not be fidget spinners. But I think the story has to do with how I found out that I was a pastel goth. Of course, ever since I was in middle school, I had always liked creepy and cute things, but I didn't know where my place was in the world, or what I actually was, style-wise or lifestyle-wise, or fashion-wise, or anything-wise, that is. Of course, mostly my devotion was to cute things such as Pokemon, Hello Kitty, Studio Ghibli films, all that good stuff. I didn't start liking My Little Pony until I was about 16, maybe. But of course, I always had a darker side, so I decided, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go goth. Of course, I did like the darker style of the gothic community. No pun intended, by the way. I've always liked the color black, but I also like the color pink as well, so I combined pink and black together and thought, this looks good. But of course, as I grew more and more in the gothic community, I started to think, I always blend lighter colors with black and other darker colors. And I didn't really get into creepypastas until I was about 15, so hence the creepiness there. The creepy cuteness of it all. And it wasn't until my senior year of high school when I listened to a Melanie Martinez song. The very first song that I listened to was the first song on her album, Crybaby. Yeah, I liked it. Although I did find the video a little bit strange at first, I absolutely liked the song, and I kept listening to her music over and over and over and over again, and I couldn't stop myself. And it wasn't until I graduated high school that I found out that I was a pastel goth. Of course, I did join the pastel goth community because, I loved it. I mean, hey, I like cute things like Hello Kitty, My Little Pony, all the cutesy girly stuff. But I also like dark things like creepypastas, the color black, skulls, horror movies, all that good fun. Especially creepy videos on YouTube. Mostly creepy Pokemon videos because those things are fun. Of course, I am actually still trying to be more of a pastel goth than I already am. Normally when it comes to makeup and fashion, mostly that. But since I am sadly cheap and do not have any money, I need to save up all the money I can to buy the pastel goth necessities that I need. But of course you don't need any true pastel goth necessities, some of which you can actually find in your own home. Or look up on YouTube for tutorials on makeups and bows and all that fun stuff.